Hello, happy Monday. Today I'm going to be reading Genesis chapter 35 to 37 and also Psalm 11. And I figured I'll start reading the devotionals too for the plan that I'm working on, which is this one right here, and it's linked in the description. All right, so after running, scheming, wrestling with God, Jacob ends up walking with a limp towards a new future. When God tells him to move back to Bethel, Jacob obeys and acknowledges God's protection throughout his tumultuous life. God reaffirms his unwavering promise to bless the world through Jacob's family. God is advancing the Edenic blessing to be fruitful and multiply. With his promise of the land, descendants, and kings to Abraham, God continues to honor this promise through Jacob and eventually one of his sons. But Jacob's previous acts of deception continue to result in envy, rivalry, and contempt within his family. He lavishes preferential treatment on his favorite wife's oldest son, Joseph, by giving him an expensive robe. Adding insult to injury, Joseph tells his jealous brothers about his dream where they all bow to him. It's the last straw. Joseph's brothers try to murder him before selling him to the slave traders, who drag Joseph down to Egypt in chains. The brothers present Joseph's body and tattered robe to their inconsolable father as proof of his death. Every generation of Abraham's family seems bent toward deception and chaos. How will God order or bring order and beauty out of this mess? Today's video explains how these tragic episodes of human failure fit into the unified story that leads us to Jesus. When we go back to the beginning of the story, we can better see how Jesus is the answer to a broken human family who continually struggles to be faithful covenant partners. Reflection questions. I haven't been doing these. Uh, where else have you seen a deception involving slaughtered goat in the story of Jacob's life? Does the connection reveal anything you had not previously seen in the story? For this question, I'd have to look it up. I'm not too confident of what I remember, and I don't know if it connects. So I'll look it up and figure it out for myself later on. Why do you think God chose to reveal himself and his purposes for the world through the history, struggles, and meditations of one people group, the descendants of Abraham's family? And I always watch the video that comes along with it.
It's one of the most influential books in human history. It explores the big questions of why we exist. It's inspired many people to do amazing things and confused many others. And you've probably got one sitting around somewhere. So, what is the Bible actually? Well, the Bible is a small library of books that all emerged out of the history of the people of ancient Israel. And in one sense, they were just like any other ancient civilization. But among them were a long line of individuals called prophets, and they viewed Israel's story as anything but ordinary. They saw it as a central part of what God was doing for all humanity. And these prophets were literary geniuses. Really? Yeah, they expertly crafted the Hebrew language to write epic narratives, very sophisticated poetry. They were masters of metaphor and storytelling, and they leveraged all of this to explore life's most complicated questions about death and life and the human struggle. So, there's a lot of different authors writing this book. Yeah, and these texts were produced over a 1,000-year period, starting with Israel's origins in Egypt, then leading up to their kingdom with their first temple, but eventually they were conquered by the Babylonians, who took them away into exile. Then, at a crucial moment in their history, many Israelites returned to their land. They built a second temple, they reformed their identity, and this is when the Jewish scriptures began to be formed into the shape that we have them today. Okay, the Jewish Bible. What's in it? Well, in Hebrew, it's called by an acronym, Tanakh.
Tanakh.
T stands for Torah, sometimes called the Law. That's Israel's 5-book foundation story. The N stands for Nevi'im, the Hebrew word for prophets. And this section consists of the historical books that tell Israel's story from the prophet's point of view. Then you get the poetic books of the prophets themselves. The K stands for Ketuvim, the Hebrew word for writings. This is a diverse collection of poetic books, wisdom books, and more narrative. And the Jewish people believe that through all of these literary works, God speaks to his people.
Now, there were other Jewish writings being produced during this Second Temple period as well.
Yeah, a really diverse group of texts. And these too were highly valued in Jewish communities. And there was debate from ancient times about whether or not some of these should be considered part of their scriptures.
So, this is a lot of different writings over a long period of time. Why did they put them all together like this?
Well, altogether, these texts tell an epic story about how God is working through these people to bring order and beauty out of the chaos of our world. And it all builds up to a hope for a new leader who would come and renew all creation. And then the Tanakh concludes, and this leader never comes.
So, it's an expertly crafted work, but it's missing an ending?
That's exactly right. Now, a few centuries later, a Jewish prophet comes onto the scene named Jesus of Nazareth. He claimed he was carrying the Tanakh story forward.
Yeah, so Jesus did a bunch of cool stuff, was killed, but his followers claimed he was alive from the dead.
Yeah, they said that Jesus was that long-awaited leader who would restore the world. And so his earliest followers, called apostles, they composed new literary works about the story of Jesus. They called these Good News, or the Gospel. They formed an account called Acts about the spread of the Jesus movement outside of Israel, and then they circulated letters to different Jesus communities all around the ancient world.
And they saw these writings as part of the scripture.
Yeah, the apostles wrote all of this as the fulfillment of that epic story found in the Tanakh, and they were continuing the literary genius of the Jewish tradition. They also believed that God was speaking to his people through these texts alongside the scriptures of Israel.
So that's the Old and New Testament. But what did the early Christians think of the other Second Temple literature?
Well, different groups had different views about some of these books, but we know they read them and valued these texts because they passed them along with the Jewish scriptures.
Okay, so we've got the Tanakh, the Jewish scriptures. We got these other Second Temple period works. Then the writing of the apostles about Jesus. And that's a lot of literature. So what's in my Bible?
So the Christian movement has taken different forms over 2,000 years, and from the beginning, all Christians recognized the Tanakh and the New Testament as scripture. And for centuries, much of the Second Temple literature was read as part of the biblical tradition. The Catholic Church eventually made it official and called some of the books from this collection the Deuterocanonical books. Some Orthodox churches used even more books from this Second Temple literature. And then in the 1500s, during the Reformation, Protestant Christians wanted to go back to the oldest writings of the prophets and apostles, so they accepted only the Old and New Testaments.
Okay, I think I got it. But how does a collection of books produced over 1,000 years by all these different authors tell one unified story?
Yeah, that's the question we'll address in our next video.
Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Tim.
This is the Bible Project. We believe the Bible is a unified story that leads to Jesus and has profound wisdom for the modern world. So we're creating videos to show that.
This was the first in a brand new series that we're starting, How to Read the Bible, but we have lots of other kinds of videos. You can find it all for free on our website at jointhebibleproject.com.
In fact, there you can find a handout that will accompany this video. It just goes into more detail and the information that this video is about, and lots of other resources. So check it out. You can also be a part of this by supporting us at thebibleproject.com.
Our goal is to make all of these resources available for free to anybody, anywhere, and we can do that because of your support. So thanks so much, you guys.
Thanks.
All right. So I might check out that additional worksheet that they mentioned, but after I read the Bible. So Genesis 35, and I'm going to read from my phone because the text is easier to read. So for the past several times, I've been reading it from the book, and I get cross-eyed often because the text is really small. And yeah, so I'm going to read from my phone. Chapter 35. Jacob goes up to Bethel. Then God said to Jacob, "Arise, go to Bethel and live there, and make an altar there to God, you or who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with them, "Put away the foreign gods which were among you, and cleanse yourself, and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I go, or wherever I've gone." So they gave to Jacob all the foreign gods which they had, and the rings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was near Shechem. Then they journeyed on, and there was a terror from God upon the cities which were around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, and he and all the people who were with him. And he built an altar there called the place Eth Bethel, or El Bethel, because there God had revealed himself to him when he fled from his brother. Then Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried below Bethel under the oak. So it was named Alan Bakuth. Jacob is renamed Israel. Then God appeared to Jacob again when he came to Paddan Aram, and he blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel shall become your name." Thus thus he called his name Israel. And God also said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and an assembly of nations shall come from you, and kings shall come forth from your loins. And the land which I gave to Abraham and Isaac, I will give to you, or I will give it to you. And I will give the land to your seed after you." Then God went up to him in the place where he had spoken with him. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone, and he poured out a drink offering on it. He also poured oil on it. So Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him Bethel. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and there was still some distance to go to Ephrath. And Rachel gave birth, and she suffers severely in her labor. Now it happened that when she was in severe labor, the midwife said to her, "Do not fear, for now you have another son." Now it happened, as her soul was departing, for she died, that she named him Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. And Jacob set up a pillar over her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the Tower of Eder. The sons of Jacob. Now it happened while Israel was dwelling in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. And there were 12 sons of Jacob, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, then Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun, the son of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin, and the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant woman, Dan and Naphtali, the sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant woman, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Paddan Aram. And Jacob came to his father Isaac and Mamre of Kiriath Abra, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had sojourned. Now the days of Isaac were 180 days, or 180 years, and Isaac breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people, an old man and full of days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. All right, chapter 36, the generation of Esau. Now, these are the generations of Esau, that is, Edom. Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan, Adah and the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anna, and the granddaughter of Zibeon the Hivite. Also, Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, the sister of Nebaioth, and Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau, and Basemath bore Reuel, and Oholibamah bore Jeush, and Jalum, and Korah. These are sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Then Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all his household and his livestock and all his cattle and all his acquired goods, which he had accumulated in the land of Canaan, and he went to a land away from his brother Jacob, for their possessions had become too great for them to live together, and the land where they sojourned could not sustain them because of their livestock. So Esau lived in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. These then are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's son: Eliphaz, the son of Esau's wife Adah; Reuel, the son of Esau's wife Basemath. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. Timah was a concubine of Esau's son Eliphaz, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Esau's wife Adah. These are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, and Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These were the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These were the sons of Esau's wife Oholibamah, the daughter of Aina, and the granddaughter of Zibeon. She bore up to Esau Jeush, and Jalum, and Korah. These are the chiefs of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, are Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kenaz, Chief Korah, Chief Gatam, Chief Amalek. These are the chiefs descended from Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Edom. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son: Chief Nathan, Chief Zerah, Chief Shammah, Chief Mizah. These are the chiefs descended from Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These are the sons of Esau's wife Oholibamah, Chief Jeush, Chief Jalum, Chief Korah. These are the chiefs descended from Esau's wife Oholibamah, the daughter of Aina. These are the sons of Esau, that is Edom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan and Shobal, and Zibeon and Anna, and Dishon and Ezer and Dishan. These are the chiefs descended from the Horites, the sons of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan and Hori and Hemem, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. These were the sons of Shobal, Alvan, and Manahath, and Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are the sons of Zibeon, Aiah, and Anna. He is the Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness when he was pasturing the donkeys of his father Zibeon. These are the children of Anna: Dishon and Oholibamah, the daughter of Aina. These are the sons of Dishon: Hemdan and Ishban, and Ithron and Churan. These are the sons of Ezer, Bilhan, and Zavan, and Achan. These are the sons of Dishon, Uz, and Aran. These are the chiefs of Horite: Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief Anna, Chief Dishon, Chief Ezer, Chief Dishon. These are the chiefs descended from the Horites, according to the various chiefs in the land of Seir. Now, these are the kings who resigned or reigned in the land of Edom before any king of the sons of Israel reigned. And Bela, the son of Beor, became king in Edom, and the name of the city was Dinhaba. Then Bela died, and Jacob, the son of Zerah, and Zerah of Bozrah, became king in his place. Then Jacob died, and Husham of the land of the Temanites became king in his place. Then Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who struck down Midian in the field of Moab, became king in his place. And the name of his city was Avith. Then Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah became king in his place. Then Salmlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth on the river became king in its place. Then Shual died, and Balhanan, the son of Akbor, became king in his place. Then Balhanan, the son of Akbor, died, and Hadar became king in his place. And the name of his city was Pau, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, daughter of Mizahab. Now these are the names of the chiefs descended from Esau according to their families and their places. By their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Jephith, Chief Olibama, Chief Elah, Chief Pinon, Chief Kenaz, Chief Timon, Chief Mibzar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Eram. These are the chiefs of Edom, that is Esau, the father of the Edomites, according to their places of habitation in the land of their possession. All right, chapter 37. The generations of Jacob. Now Jacob lived in the land where his father had sojourned, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Jacob was 17 years of age, was pasturing the flock with his brothers while he was still a youth, along the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought back an evil report about them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a vari-colored tunic. And his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, so they hated him and could not speak to him in peace. Joseph's dream. Joseph's dream. Then Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers, so they hated him even more. And he said to them, "Please listen to this dream which I have had. Indeed, behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf rose up and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves gathered around and bowed down to my sheaf." Then his brothers said to him, "Are you really going to reign over us? Or are you really going to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he had another dream and recounted it to his brothers and said, "Behold, I have had still another dream, and behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me." And he recounted it to his father and to his brothers, and his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have had? Shall I and your mother and your brothers really come to bow ourselves down before you to the ground?" And his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. Then the brothers went to pasture their father's flock in Shechem, and Israel said to Joseph, "Are not your brothers pasturing the flock of Shechem? Come, and I will send you to them." And he said to them, "I will go." Then he said to them, "Go now, and see about the welfare of your brothers and the welfare of their flock, and bring word back to me." So he sent them. So he sent them from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" And he said, "I am seeking my brothers. Please tell me where they are pasturing the flock." Then the man said, "They have journeyed from here, for I heard them saying, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Joseph and his brothers. And they saw him from a distance, and before he came close to them, they plotted against him to put him to death. Then they said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer. Now come and let us kill him and cast him into one of the pits, and we will say a wild beast devoured him. Then let us see what will become of his dreams." But Reuben heard this and delivered him out of their hands and said, "Let us not strike down his life." Reuben further said to them, "Shed no blood. Cast them into the pit that is in the wilderness, but do not put forth your hands against them, that he might deliver him out of the hands to return to him to his father." Now it happened, when Joseph reached his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the varicolored tunic that was on him, and they took him and cast him into the pit. Now the pit was empty, without any water in it. And they sat down to eat a meal. Then they lifted up their eyes and saw, and behold, a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing aromatic gum and balm and myrrh, going to bring them down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What gain is it that we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened. That then some Midianites traders passed by, so they pulled up him and lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. Thus they brought Joseph into Egypt. Then Reuben returned to the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. So he tore his garments. Then he returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is not there. As for me, where am I to go?" So they took Joseph's tunic and slaughtered a male goat and dipped the tunic in the blood. And they sent the varicolored tunic and brought it to their father and said, "We found this. Please recognize it, whether it is your son's tunic or not." And he recognized it and it said, "It is my son's tunic. A wild beast has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces." So Jacob tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his loins and mourned for his son many days. Then all his sons and all his daughters arose to comfort him and refused to be comforted. And he said, "Surely I will go down to Sheol in mourning for my son." So his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, Pharaoh's officer, the captain of the bodyguard. All right, let's move to Psalms. All right, Psalms 11. That's pretty short. Yahweh is in his holy temple for the core director of David. In Yahweh I take refuge. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend to the bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string to shoot in darkness at the upright in their heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? Yahweh is in his holy temple. Yahweh's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids test the sons of men. Yahweh tests the righteous, but the wicked and the one who loves violence his soul hates. May he rain snare upon the wicked. Fire and brimstone and burning wind will be the portion of their cup. For Yahweh is righteous, he loves the righteousness. The upright will behold his face. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow.